Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm gonna teach you all about toxic dysfunctional relationships, which if you clicked on this video, chances are you have been in one. It doesn't matter if it's a family member, a friendship, or even a romantic partner, we tend to be involved with people that are not the healthiest. So if you have ever wondered what makes this person tick or why you even engage with them and go back and forth, this video is for you. Today we're gonna look at one of the most overrated traits of someone who is a female narcissist. These are the people that are able to manipulate others through being a victim. While most people think someone who is narcissistic is just arrogant and controlling, which they very much are, the female uses a completely different approach than a male narcissist. Unfortunately, if you don't know this information, it's gonna fly under the radar. You're not gonna even know what she's doing, and you're going to get trapped either in the cycle, or maybe you'll even get involved in a romantic relationship with her. So if you're ready to learn these hidden tactics and how to spot them, I want you to hit the subscribe button and let's jump right in. The first and probably the most obvious is the victim persona that these people will portray. Sometimes it's actually not that obvious to spot. If you are a man, maybe you're getting involved in a relationship with a female narcissist, this like hopeless, please come fix me, please come save me, it might actually be something that you're attracted to. They might have this subtle way of making themselves be the victim in every situation that they're in. People have wronged them, people have hurt them, and now look, we've all been wronged, but someone who is healthy is going to understand that yes, they were a victim to what it is that they went through, but they're not a victim anymore. An unhealthy person is going to use that like perceived vulnerability to try to control you and get what they need out of you. The reason why a female narcissist will use this is for two things: sympathy and attention. By portraying themselves as the victim, they can actually control you by manipulating you. They're manipulating you into making you feel sorry for them, so then you will cave and give them what they need later on down the road. So you being able to give them the validation, they're actually controlling you by what it is that you give them because you're buying into a story that they've created. And because you're a little unhealthy and dysfunctional as well, you're going to buy into the story instead of knowing that yes, while you may have been a victim, the most attractive thing is for someone to maybe have gone through something really difficult, but get to a place where they no longer are blaming anyone else and they're ready to take responsibility for their own life. That's healthy, that's attractive. If that's not you because you're stuck in being a people pleaser or being codependent, then you're going to eat all of this up. You are not going to be able to spot what it is that she's actually doing. The second thing that is not always the most obvious, but it's definitely a trait that you want to look out for, is them being able to manipulate you through guilt. A female narcissist, much like all narcissists, will always use guilt as a tool. They might say things like, I can't believe you're doing this after everything that we've been through. This makes you feel like what you're doing is causing them pain or harm. What they're doing is they're twisting the situation to make you responsible for why they feel what they feel. Again, if you understand what healthy people do, healthy people don't do that. They take responsibility for how they feel, no matter what it is that you do or say or any of those things. So whether it's a boundary that you're most likely putting into play and they don't like that, they're going to use these things to make you feel bad for setting that boundary or for saying what you said or for not indulging in their victim mentality thing. Being able to twist stories around and make you responsible for how they feel is probably the biggest sign that this person is narcissistic or just very highly manipulative. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They just want to point the finger at everyone, i.e., victim. They might get upset when you do something that they don't like. They might make you feel like you're actually abandoning them when you're not abandoning them, you're just setting a boundary. The hardest thing is being able to spot what it is that this person does all the time. Is it just the victimhood? Is it just the woe is me? Is it just the, hey, come save me, hey, come help me, it's all about me and what I'm going through? Or is it more of the guilt? Is it more of the manipulating in that way? Guilt is a really powerful tool, especially for someone who's very manipulative, which a narcissist is. A female will exploit you in any way they possibly can just to get what they want. By making you feel like you're responsible for how I'm actually feeling, this is my controlling you, because then you're gonna alter what it is that you do or give me, and I can control what it is that you do give me because now you feel bad about yourself for whatever it is that you did or said or the boundary that you were trying to set. So they want to maintain that kind of power and control over you, and the only way that they can really do it is by making you feel bad. So if you are are very much a people pleaser, very much codependent, which quite frankly, those are the only two people that will even buy into this tactic at all. So chances are you probably are, or you have little bits of that, then you're going to eat all this up and you're going to change and conform and try to do everything right because you're going to really feel like you actually caused them this uncomfortable feeling or caused them this pain or that your boundary was wrong for you to even set. What they're doing is they're exploiting your ability to have empathy. This is just all to fuel their sense of importance. So they know that you have empathy and they want to use that in order to get something from you. They also know that your empathy comes with absolutely no boundaries. So you will have empathy for anyone just because that's who you are. And you think you're being a good person or you think this is just who you are when you're actually just an unhealthy giver. Number 4, this is another biggie that sometimes can be very obvious, but I don't think most people really kind of put the 2 and 2 together. It's the I'm so lonely routine. One tactic that a lot of female narcissists will use, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, is just this ability to make others feel bad because they're all by themselves or they're alone. They tend to claim this like extreme loneliness, of course, without doing anything about it or even taking responsibility for it. They might say things like, no one really understands me. It kind of ties into the whole victim thing, but we're focusing more on them feeling this extreme loneliness, again, with the inability to take responsibility for that, own it, and want to do anything about it. One of the traits that all narcissists have is the lack of accountability on their part. They don't want to own how they actually feel. They don't want to own what it is that they did. So they don't want to own themselves. They just want other people to cater to them and give them what it is that they need in order to feel good. If they do this enough, and if you are the people pleaser, a codependent, then you're going to eat it up. You're going to feel a sense of obligation to do things with this person, or you're basically taking on that loneliness as if it's your responsibility. This is where you will step in and you will want to rescue them. You will want to save them. You'll want to make them feel good about themselves because they're now your full-time job. This tactic plays on your natural human ability to want to just help people, to see a little lost puppy in the road and want to pick it up and nurse it back to health. This is exactly what they want from you. They want to really hone in on you feeling bad for them instead of you kind of acknowledging what the truth is and bringing that to the forefront, which is if you're lonely, you have to do something about it. You have to take responsibility for yourself, that it's not my job to just save you. I can help you, I can show you, I can lead you to water, but I can't do it all for you. The codependent person is in the I'm the fixer, I'm the saver, I think it's my responsibility to come in and help you in ways that I probably shouldn't be. And what the codependent is really struggling with is not the fact that they're just a good person and that they just want to help people. They're struggling with the fact that they're uncomfortable because they think someone else is suffering. They haven't learned boundaries. They haven't learned it's not your responsibility to save everyone. You can help, but there has to be boundaries. The loneliness is a tactic, which means I want you to feel responsible for my emotional well-being, how I feel inside. And I think a lot of us that are walking around that are codependents know for sure that we have taken on the happiness of someone in our life. And it wasn't until we kind of woke up to our own codependency that we could really see this actually playing out. Number 5, here we go again. A little obvious, but sometimes unfortunately we can't really detect it because we're codependent, because we're a people pleaser, because we've been around this person for so long that sometimes we just couldn't see really what it is that they were actually doing. Deflecting responsibility. Number 5, female narcissists very, very rarely take responsibility for their actions. And even if they do, they're only owning it because it is one of those things that is so black and white that they actually can't deny it. But that doesn't mean anything's going to change just because they actually own it. And that's even a small percent of a female narcissist. The majority of them are just going to deflect altogether. What they will oftentimes do is just deflect the blame. You made me act like this. If you would have just been there for me, I wouldn't have reacted this way. All female narcissists will have an inability to actually own their stuff. They're not going to take direct responsibility. Accepting blame, and I really want you to understand why they actually do this, because for you or I, this may seem like kind of a lost concept because you just can't really understand how someone could be that far away from not being able to do this. Being able to fully accept something comes with, first off, it definitely bruises the ego, and it comes with a lot of shame. Since they have such a fragile self-image, it is pretty much impossible for that person to be able to actually own it. Because if you own it, you have to sit in how that makes you feel. And how that makes you feel is uncomfortable. And you also have to be able to get yourself out of that space. And they don't have those skills in order to do any of those things. So they're going to avoid it altogether and put it on someone else, because that goes against how I want to view myself, which is perfect, which is I don't do anything wrong. And also, let's say they actually could own it, and that like little 1% of people that it's too black and white, they just can't deny it. They end up just convincing themselves of a story that brings them back to deflecting. So you might hear them say, I know what I did was wrong, but they'll give you a but, which is the excuse as to why they did what they did. What they're going to end up doing is owning it, but then framing the situation as if they're the victim, which makes it harder for you to actually confront them on what it is that they did, or them being able to even own what it is that they did, because they're not really owning it. They may acknowledge it, but they're not actually owning it. The moral of the story is that being the victim is the place that all female narcissists love to live. And these are kind of the 5 things that really encompass their ability to be the victim in all situations, no matter what it is that they do. It's super important for you to be able to recognize these patterns early on, not just in this person, but also in yourself. How you show up as the fixer, how you show up as the people pleaser, how you show up as the codependent. Setting boundaries has to be number 1. It's the only thing that needs to happen in order to overcome being a people pleaser, codependency, and also being able to deal with this type of person. You have to really understand emotional manipulation, which essentially this is what this is. You also are really learning how to trust your intuition, and these things are not that hard to spot. You've just been clouded with your own dysfunction, your own wounds, your own people pleaser, codependency, all of your stuff. That is what has really been clouding you in order to really see what was happening. So when you start working on yourself, these things become very blatantly obvious. You also will know how to set boundaries and handle yourself when you're around this person. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It definitely helps out the channel. Also share this with anyone who you think might need to hear it today. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more content from me. Drop a comment down below if you have dealt with a female narcissist as well and what your experience was. I would love to hear down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.